Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay. Can I start now?
Yes, you can proceed, sir.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the final class on effective time and task management. Um, in the last class, we already laid a solid foundation for this course and talking about the meaning or what we really want to pull together in the aspect of effective time and task management. We are not just talking about time management, so we are talking about the relevance of managing our time effectively with having a success on our task. So in other words, we are actually discussing how we can effectively manage the time that has been allocated to task so that we can always be on time. So if we have an activity, so what we discussed in the last class is that that activity needs to be timed. So we need to have a time frame for it. And when we cite a time frame for it, it must be something that is really, really smart. So it means that the goal has to be smart if we must actually manage the time well. And by being smart, we define that the goal has to be specific, measurable, uh, achievable, realistic, and then has a time frame. So this is what we mean by smart goal. So that actually moves us into discussing prioritization. So how we can actually prioritize our task. So it is one thing for you to have task at hand, and it's another thing for you to attach priorities to those tasks. So you may have 10 things to deal with on a particular day, but how, you know, does those, how do they, all of them, those tasks, how do they really affect your overall success of the day? So that led us into discussing Eisenhower matrix, where we get to learn the urgent and important activities. So we discuss four quadrants in that particular uh, matrix, and that's the quadrants. The first one we discuss about activities that are important and that are urgent, and then we discuss action thing that we need to actually what do in those actions. So when we have actions that are important and they are also urgent, we say that those activities, they needed to be attended to immediately. So the action word there is for you to do those activities. So you may have activities that are important but are not urgent. In most cases, these activities, they have a long-term effect on the success of your task or the success of your projects. So it is important that you know that if they are important and they are not urgent, so they do not they require your immediate attention, but rather they require that you should have a solid plan for them. You should put them on your schedule. And that's what we say, that action word there is for you to schedule. And then we move down to discussing activities that are urgent, but they are not important. In most cases, they come like a pressing need. They come like you know, some situations that you should not say no to. But most of the activities in this quadrant, they don't have direct impact on your own personal task. They may be counted like requests from friends. You know, people can request for meeting that does not really concern you. They just want you in the meeting, or they just require to join a team of people that want to engage in conflict resolution. And if it does not actually what really have a direct impact on your own task or personal responsibility, these are kind of activities you may delegate people. Okay, you may delegate people to actually be there for you. So if it is a meeting, the person can give you feedback. If it is a seminar where they ask you to deliver a paper, you can actually what go there. If it is a party, that you cannot attend, you can send your wife down there and she goes with gifts. All these kind of activities, they are the one that will say, okay, they are urgent, because they come with, oh, if you don't attend to them right now, there is no other opportunity. Maybe it's a party or it's a gathering or anything whatsoever. Get people to actually what to be delegated for this. Okay, it might actually be in form of reading your mails or picking calls or attending to visitors. So you may not be able to do all this yourself, but you can have uh, anybody whatsoever to be trained. That's the action word there, that you need to train those people. Okay, because if you don't train your delegates, they may not be able to deliver such a quality representation that you desire. So in most cases, you see most of the industrial work supervisors or managers of companies, overworking themselves, because people under them are not trained. They don't know anything. They order them around like zombie. So you need to train people, you need to empower them with knowledge so that they can also relieve you of your duty, and that will help you to have an effective time management over your task. And then we move down to the quadrant, where we have activities that are not important and also they are not urgent. In most cases, these kind of activities, they can always wait. They are the kind of activities you can push them to your leisure time, to when you have time. You can put entertainment under these categories. You can put having to watch a match under this category. It should be your free time. It should be a time that is not assigned to any task whatsoever, that you can just, kind of while away, maybe just to relax or to recover yourself from stress or anything whatsoever. But they are not to be prioritized. In most cases, some of them are to be deleted. Some activities in this area are to be deleted. Okay, and some of them you need to minimize them and just use your leisure time to do it. So this is actually the lesson that we took from Esinoa. And then another one that look like Esinoa that we discuss about prioritization tools for effective time and task management is the MSCW, where we define our aim to be mission. You need to understand what you need to do. The problem of many people is that what they do not have their task being defined. So when you define your mission of what you want to do, then the next thing you need to do is for you to schedule it. Have a good plan for it. Have them being marked on your calendar. Have time frame being attached to them. Have an expectation of when you need to carry them out. There are deadlines. Okay, the start and the end date for those projects needs to be stated. For so many of us that are project managers, who understand what I'm talking about. A project is a temporary endeavor, and it must really have a start and end date. That's what we call every project to be a temporary endeavor. There is no project that is permanent. They are always temporary. Even if your project will take 10 years, it is still temporary. If your project will take 20 years, it is still temporary. But it is not a project until you attach a time that you will start, okay, and a time that you will end it. Anything whatsoever that you want to do in life, that you ask yourself that, when do I want to start it? You don't have anything to say. When do I want to bring this project to an end? You don't have anything to say. It remains wishes. They are not projects. They are just things that you wish to do. They are just on your bucket list that you wish to do them. They have not become a project. They have not become a concrete task at hand. But anything you want to achieve and you don't want to fail at it, you should be able to say, even if it's to paint your room, I want to paint my room, this so month, and I want to use these 3 days to do it. Then it has become a project. So you begin to work towards achieving it within those time frame that you have given. But if you just say, I want to paint my room, you may end up not doing anything even for the next 3 years, because you have not really talked about when exactly do you want to do that. So you have to schedule. You have to now focus. After you schedule, for you to follow up with your schedule, that's for you to concentrate. That's the C, and the W is for you to put everything into action. So yesterday in our last class, we try as much as possible to summarize everything. That what makes your goal to be smart. What will help you to actually have a smart goal is for you to answer the 4 questions. And what are those 4 questions? When you are assessing a particular task, you need to know what. This will tell you what exactly you want to do. Okay, I want to paint my room. Okay, that may be the task at hand. So you need to answer the question what. Many people can't even tell us. If you tell them that, oh, what have you been on for the past 3 days? They can't tell you what exactly they are doing for the past 3 days. The only thing they will tell you is that, oh, I'm busy. So you can be busy and not productive. That's what we are saying. You can be busy and be doing nonsense. Even a madman is also busy, picking rubbish and all the dirt all around. So for us to know that you know what you are doing, you need to be able to define the task. And this is the purpose of reports at places of work. They will say, okay, you should give report on what you have been doing. It's because they want to know what you have been working on. Then you ask yourself a question: how do I really want to carry it out? I want to paint my room by getting a painter that will do the job. I've already stated what, how. By, okay, we tell you that how we give you direction. It will really show us that you are not directionless. It will give you a focus of how you will be able to execute it. And then when you are able to answer the question when, that is the question of time frame, the time allocated to that particular project, and why do you want to do the project. Many people can't really say why they are doing what they are doing. And why will let us know if what you are doing is productive or is counterproductive to your vision in life. Okay, you can say you want to be the best engineer in your maybe community. I want to be the best engineer in my community, and then you are taking up a course in medical field. Okay, maybe you are taking up a course that that belongs to what medical doctor. Somebody just convince you about courses that medical doctors are doing, and you know that definitely you want to focus on being the best engineer. And then it's just like a comedy that I listened to of a man who is old and healthy. The man is okay, and then they marketed is it clutches they call it, uh crutches that those people that are limping, that they normally use to support themselves, the crutches. So somebody marketed the crutches to him, and nothing happened to him. His legs are okay, everything is all. And he went to market and he saw that they were marketing crutches. And then the person that was selling had to convince him that, oh, Oga, this thing will be expensive, oh, it will get expensive, oh, you better buy it now, we are on promo. And he bought it and brought it home. And his wife saw it and said, what are you doing with this? They said that the price is going to, it will go up. That's why I bought it. So you can see how they are directionless that kind of man is. Is he planning to break a leg? If he's not planning to break his own legs, so what will you need crutches for? Okay, I don't know if I'm getting that right, but he bought that something that does not have any value to his family and to his own immediate need. That does not make sense. So such is what you'll be able to discover by answering the question why. You will know whether what you are doing makes sense or not. Why am I doing what I'm doing right now? Why are you taking this course right now? Do you really want to get better? Are you just taking this course because you don't have something to do, something else to do with your time, or somebody just or because it's something that is not costing you much? So you need to answer that question. It is the question why that will make you to align that particular mission, that particular goal at hand, that particular task at hand. You're able to align it with your value as a person, so that what doing it, you will be productive. So we move on to the next method of prioritizing our time with our task, with reference to our task, and that is Moscow method. Moscow method is not a method that is new. Okay, it has been a very effective method of prioritizing one's time with reference to carrying out what your task successfully. What do we what approach do we does a Moscow method has towards prioritizing your time? The M here stand for must have. Okay, in fact, before we come back to this particular image, we still come back to this image. Let us first explore what the acronyms. We have M, so you can see the way it is written. M is capital, S is capital, C is capital, W is capital. So it's almost like you discussing MSCW, but we want to really differentiate it from MSCW. Okay, so we have to actually write it in full. Moscow method. The must haves. Okay, must haves is pointing at essential requirements that are critical to your project success. What are those things that are must have for you? So just like the way it sounds, what are the things that you must have if the project at hand will definitely be what? Successful. So there are tasks that you need to carry out, in the course of your project. But there are some tasks out of these tasks that they remain the foundational task. They remain compulsory. They remain essential. They are must-haves. If and only if you want the project at hand to be successful. So you need to actually think about this. Without this kind of activities, or without this kind of resources, you surely know that the project would fail or will be greatly negatively impacted. So that is the approach of the M in Moscow. And then the S is actually telling you about what? The should haves. What are the should haves? These should haves, they are also important. They are tasks or resources or requirements that are also what? Important. But they are not really what? Essential. Although they are important, but they are not what? Essential. That is, they are not the major contributors to the success of the project at hand. But you should have them because they are also important. Yet, they are not the primary, foundation, or they are not the primary requirements to the success of the project that you have at hand. You have to now list out those kind of requirements also, or list out those resources also, or list out those tasks. And we're going to check practical examples. The could haves, nice to have. They are requirements, task or resources. They are nice for you to have, but trust me, they are not essential. They are not essential. The only thing is that they could garnish or make your project just colorful a bit. It's just like you saying that you want to drive your car. Let me use that example. When you want to drive your car, everything in your car, has to be working perfectly. But there are many people that drive their car without their AC unit functioning properly. So the AC unit is one of the could have, because it is just nice for you to have AC functioning in your car. It is nice, but it is not essential for your car working properly. Your car functionality would not be negatively impacted even if the AC unit is not working. The only thing is that you may be sweating. You may have to wind down your car, wind it down, okay, and then drive with that so that you can have fresh air. And you know that if you park on a spot, then, or maybe in the hot weather, you may be sweating profusely, you may be uncomfortable inside the car, but that does not affect the functionality of the car. So the AC in your car fall under the could haves. That's the illustration that could come to my mind right now. And then the won't haves, their requirements, okay, or their resources, or their tasks that are not necessary. They are not necessary. These are the ones that you can actually drop them. You can delete them off the bucket list. You can delete them off the bucket list. You don't need to have them. Take, for instance, you may decide not to have tinted glasses, especially if the law of the land is not allowing anybody to tint their, car glasses. So you may not be able to tint, the windscreen of your car, just because the law of the land is against it. So that is a won't have for you. You can delete, you can forget about having tinted windscreen, because it does not add anything. In fact, it will make you to actually break the law of the land. It will only be counterproductive for your personality as somebody that is driving that particular car. It will only get you into trouble. So there are some tasks also that will only slow you down. You are the one thinking that, yes, they are important, and then you attach them to yourself so much that, you become so heavy that you cannot even drag your leg in the course of carrying out your project. So you can drop them. Now let's look at this in the broader view. Okay. So the must-haves, we can summarize them. We call them initiatives that must not, you must not lack in your product. If you're a product manager, or if you're a service provider, so you look at it. Okay, what are the things that it is a must-have for us? For example, as a training firm, what are the things that we must have? We must have a good content, something that is a product of research for every course, for every training that we want to handle. So having a good and detailed content and a relatable material is a must have for us. The should have, those are the things that are essentials but not vital in your product. Now for us, okay, as a training firm also, one of the should have is for us to actually say, okay, fine, let's say we want to probably give people discounts on our training, on our courses. So we should have discounts, attached to the prices of our courses. But having discounts is not a must have. It's just a should have. It is just essential, okay, but not really the primary, base of we being a satisfactory training firm. What people really want primarily is for them to get values. There are a lot of people out there that are ready to pay millions for anything they will get value for. You as a training firm, if you know that you don't want to attach a discount to a particular course, those are the people that must actually be your targets. They must be people that you go all out for. People that are looking for values, but you see that these people really have money. They don't care. They can spend anything whatsoever. There are organizations like that. There are corporate firms like that. What they just want to know is that, we want to train our staff. When you give them quotation, they hardly price down. The only thing they will be focusing on is the content of what you want to deliver to their staff, and probably what you have, in your as your testimonials, what you have done before, and evidence, and concrete evidence that you can actually execute that particular training. Their concern is not on the money, because they are capable to actually pay the money. But if you attach discounts to your courses, you may be able to attract, more people. Now you are covering those people that may have much and those people that may have little, and yet they actually want that values. So putting discounts on your course is just a should have. It is essential, but not really the primary thing that really show that either you're original or not. In fact, some people that have money, they become so skeptical when they see some products carrying huge discounts, because in their mind, they know the value of that product out there. It's just like you saying that something that they are selling at 100,000 naira, and then you are marketing to me that what you want to sell it at 20,000 naira because your company is actually giving it out as a bonus. For somebody that have money and that cares so much about value, they will first take a back seat. They will be scared. They will doubt the originality of what you are presenting to them. But for some people, they may take their time to research and still check, oh, this thing is just that they are giving bonus. They are actually what? Genuine. I know them. I've heard about them. So you may attract those people. So I'm using that as an illustration so that you can relate it to yourself to know what are those things that I just should have on your bucket list, or let me say on your list of requirements for that particular project you want to carry out. The could have is the initiatives that are nice to have in your products. They are just initiatives. Okay, they can, and that's why you see that what the colors selection for each of them is actually different, so that you can see it's just something that they can add values. Okay, they are just initiatives. Okay, like what we are doing. So a training firm can now think about what better way can we capture people's attention? What better way can we make our training available? Can we get a training app? Can we do it on live classes as we are doing right now? Okay, we have actually look at it that during the live classes, there are many people that may not still meet up even with the time frame we are giving for the live classes. Can we have the courses recorded so that they can go back to it even if they miss the live classes? It's not just about missing the live classes. So people will be having what? Internet issues. They will be having network issues. How do we capture these people that even if they have network issues and they miss out, how would they be able to catch up with what they have missed? And that is why having this kind of arrangement, having the training recorded, having it being uploaded, having the link being shared even after every class becomes a could have for us. So we could have it. We could have that plan. It will help. Okay, it will spice up our possibility of covering more people. But it's not really what defines the success of our training delivery. Because even if you have delivered rubbish, that means that whatever you have recorded will still be rubbish, and a lot of people will give their negative feedback on it. So the first thing is your delivery, your content, which becomes your must have. The second one is that you may choose to now say, okay, fine, do I want to give discounts? Do I want to do this so that a lot of people can actually call me? That becomes the should have. And the could have could actually be, how could I help people to catch up in case they miss out on the class? The won't have are the initiatives that are not the priorities in your products. They are not the priority. You could delete them. That's why you see that it is being painted red. For example, coming together on a training like this, can we use choose to actually use 6 trainers, okay, to take this particular course? Then we begin to actually look at it. Why do we need 6 trainers? That means that we are going to be paying 6 people just to take a training of this particular duration. Okay, we have this particular person in our organization who has the strengths and who has the potential to take this course, and is going to actually break the course down, to the understanding of the attendees. So why not? If that person is actually available, why can't we use him? And then with that, we have just a trainer to pay, just a trainer. And then we have achieved our goal. In fact, that's what you see many organizations doing when you see that they downsize their staff. They just look at it. When they see that they're having issues in their finance or economy, they look at some units where they have, they just overemployed people there. Maybe it's just 10 people that are there, and then the work of those 10 people, 5 capable people could actually do the job. So when they are trying to actually stabilize the organization, you see that they will look at that place. They will retain those people that they know that they are the most active, they are the key to the success of that particular department. And they may ask the rest that, okay, fine, if the company get better, we'll call you, so you can just take a walk. and everything. So the excessive staff can become the won't have for us. We should know the capacity of our production and know what we really need. You can't hire, 100 people for a job that what 20 people can do. That won't make sense for you to have 80 excessive people, or having what ghost workers collecting salary, but they are not doing the job. That is counterproductive. That is the won't have. So I do hope that with some of this my analysis, you are able to catch up with that. So let's look at a particular illustration that I have here. Okay, suppose you are a product manager responsible for launching a new e-commerce website. You have a list of requirements from stakeholders, including, so you are a product manager, so you just want to launch a new e-commerce website. Okay, so this is what you need to do as the requirement that is coming from your stakeholders. Of course, those who are project managers would relate with me on stakeholders. Stakeholders are those who that have stake on the project. There are those people that either the project will affect negatively or positively. Okay, so it might be some departments in the place where you are working, maybe electrical department and mechanical department, all of them joining together, to actually look at how a particular project the company wants to carry out will affect them. So they become stakeholders. Okay, so these stakeholders, they have their requirements. So one of it, the first one is user registration and login functionality. They want you to actually fix this. The next one is payment gateway integration for their client to be able to come on the website and being able to what? Make payments. Product search and filtering. So if they come on our website, we want people, like if you go on our website now, you'll be able to see that, okay, if I want to search for electrical courses, I should be able to type electrical, and then it will bring out all courses that are uploaded for electrical. If I want to do any course on safety, if I type what safety, so that's what they are also requiring. So they want their products to be searchable, so there will be a search bar, okay, where you can filter. That is, you can say this is what I want, like the example I was actually giving. Oh, I want everything on electrical, and then it will only give you, so you won't stress yourself going through every courses in between and be looking for which one talk about electrical. The system will automatically filter it for you. And then they want their social media sharing buttons to be attached to it. You can have your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn being actually well connected to your website. And then the customer reviews and ratings, they want a session where the customer will be able to actually send in their review. You will see that a whole lot when you go on our website, where you will see reviews, people talking, bringing back their feedback, and they will rate the training, like on some of the if you go on a Play Store, you see some app, they'll still give them star, is it 3-star rating, 4-star rating, 5-star rating. Those star rating will make other new users or people that want to download newly, for them to relate with that, okay, this particular app is worthy of my data or space on my phone, so let me download it. So you want your customer to review so that you can attract more clients. And then blog section will be for the company news and update. So this is what the stakeholders have actually required. Okay, these are their expectations, these are their requirements that they are actually pushing to these product manager. So let's see how this product manager will be able to use Moscow method for him to prioritize. You know what we are talking about is for him to actually prioritize, to set out priorities out of these requirements, to know what first needs to actually go into something that holds the pillar of the success of this particular project. So these must-haves out of the requirement, it chose the user registration and login functionality. Of course, the first thing to every website is for you to actually be able to register. If you cannot register, if you cannot become a user, there is no way you can actually become a client. There's no way you can register for any training. You need to be able to actually register yourself for you to become a user, and the login page must be functioning. So he prioritized it that, okay, user registration and login functionality, okay, let's first work on that. Is the must have on this particular website. And then payment gateway. The company wants to make money. So when you register, we want it to be that you can register for any training and make payments. So you put that under must have. Now, the should haves out of the requirements. Okay, he puts product search and filtering. The should have, don't forget, are the functionality or requirement that your project should have. They are essential, they are important, but they are not really the primary what pillar for the success of that project. You can imagine there are some company website that when you go there, you have to do your search. Maybe the trainings they have is just what 10, or maybe the product they have is not up to 100, it's just 5. Why do they have to be bothering themselves about what product search when it is just 5? So you can navigate through on your own, check through the 5 products and choose the one that you want. But most of the companies that will do product search are those ones that know that they have their website actually loaded, and they know that a lot of people don't want to go through that stress. So it just become a should have that will make, yes, it will make your website to be user friendly if you can have the product search and filtering, and you can actually have the customer reviews, because the customer reviews are actually for you to attract new clients. In most cases, the review does not really speak. When there are some great review that you will see, and then you venture into that particular product, your own experience will actually be bad. So the review does not give us 100% guarantee that the product is 100% okay. They are just part of the yardsticks that we can use to judge either this product will be fine or not. So customer reviews and rating just become a should have. What are the could haves on this list? The social media sharing buttons, they are just could have. It's not all sites, all websites that have the social media button being connected to it so that you can share it out, or you can share it on your social media page. If you don't need it on your website, in fact, it does not stop. That's the emphasis we should lay on. It does not stop your website from doing what it's supposed to do if you don't have them. They are just there to garnish it up. Like the language I use, they just want to make it more colorful. Like the example I use about your car having AC. So when you look at these things under the could haves for this product manager, he understand the job that these things, they are not really that essential. They will just make the website to be more colorful. You can imagine when you say, you'll be able to say, this company, they are even large. They are on Twitter, they are on this. Let me follow them. Let me do this. They are just, a means of you promoting the website. It's not really the website itself. The blog session for company news and updates, it's just, what you can call paparazzi. It is not the major thing that defines the functionality of that particular company website. And then under his want haves, based on all the requirements that these stakeholders have given him, he has nothing under the want haves. Everything they have actually pushed onto him, they are things they want on their website. He has just been able to separate them into priority. So for this man now, he will first focus on these must haves, perhaps present that to the stakeholders. When they certify it, good to go. In fact, when they are done with these must haves, if they have urgent registration, people that want to register urgently, they can launch it, and the people will be making use of it. And then they will just keep on updating that particular website until they have their they should have, which are the product search and filtering, customer reviews and rating, could have. So this will actually guide you, for you to know that what are the things delaying me right now. There may be tasks that you have at hand. You have set some goals. The question you should ask yourself is that what are the things that are delaying? You can't have everything to kickstart. That is the beauty of Moscow method. You can't have everything for you to kickstart. But there are some basic things that you need to have. So if you can get those basic things, which are your must have, you can begin to execute that particular task or that particular project. And in the long run, if you have noted your should have, let them be in your plan. Your could have should be, well, if I have more resources, or if I have more, opportunity, I may actually have that. It means that if you need a car for mobility, very, very urgently, and you see a very good car that is functioning, the only thing they told you that the AC is not working, it means that you could get it. And still, when you are okay, fix the AC. It does not stop the car from working. Because the primary functionality of a car working is for you to check what? Your gear, the engine, okay? You have to check your gears selection, the engine must actually be checked. And for those people that actually they know about car very well, so they know that those priority that must actually be checked in your car, especially if it's a used car that you want to buy. So they know where to go. The body might not even be encouraging, and some people will tell you that go for this car. You can pimp the body later if you want to pimp it, but with this, they have not tampered with the engine before. They will tell you the gear is still very, very what? Okay. So you can go for it. So they will tell you that. In most cases, the later thing is AC that they check. Is it cooling or not cooling? They know that that can actually what be fixed. So it will help you to start that project and for you to stop what procrastinating on the project that you have at hand. So the ABC method is also there. ABCD method. So ABCD method is not doing anything different from all that we have actually discussed. In fact, it looks more like the Eisenhower matrix. The only thing is that what you have this also fixed. The A is giving you, the categories of tasks that are of high priority and high urgency. And when you say high priority, we are just talking about what? Importance. You can relate this to your SEO also. Important. And what? It has what? It has it is urgent. The only thing is that in this case, we are trying to look at even the tasks that are urgent at hands. I want to show you what ABC is doing. Even in this quadrant, this particular quadrant under Eisenhower, where we talk about important and urgent, even under important and urgent task, you still need to prioritize them. That's what we are talking about. Under important and urgent task, you still have to check how much importance does this one have over the other, and how more urgent is this than this. For example, if you have two patients, one is actually what? Having headache and is shouting of headache. And there is one that the blood is just what? Gushing out of his body. Trust me, both of them, they have health challenge. Anything that has to do with health is of urgency. You need to give it what? Your attention immediately. You need to take care of yourself. It is urgent. The person that is having a headache is not comfortable. The person that is also bleeding is not comfortable. But when you look at both of them, even in the matter of their urgency, you will know that the person that is bleeding have what? A higher urgency when it comes to the level of urgency. So under your Eisenhower matrix, you can use your ABCD to now reprioritize each of the quadrant that you even have. If you have the quadrant where you have what, especially the quadrant of what? Important and what? Urgent. Yes, important and urgent. What happens when you have 6 tasks under that particular quadrant alone? So that particular what? Important and urgent quadrant that you have in the Eisenhower, you can use your ABCD to reprioritize them so that you can have an effective management of your time in carrying out those tasks. So high priority, high urgency. So you can term this as high importance, high urgency. B is high priority, or this priority you can use it for importance. That's what I mean. High priority, low urgency. Low priority, high urgency. Low priority, low urgency. Now, what do you do under this each category? Okay, if the deadline of a project is tomorrow, you know that that is high priority and high urgency. Okay, If customers are waiting for a response, in most cases they are impatient. You are keeping your customer on hold. It is what? Of high urgency, and it should be your of high priority. Okay. For example, for you to create a social media content calendar, it is also of high priority. You need to prioritize it, but it is not urgent. It is something that what you can actually what plan. Okay, I want to be releasing content, every week, once in a week. You can have it planned. Most of these content creators that you see, what they will drop, some of them that do regular uh content creation, maybe that is every Friday that they normally release their content. For example, that back then when Mark Angel started his comedy then, so he has this weekly approach to dropping his own comedy, unlike these days that you can have some of them, because of the hustling, they will drop they can drop 5 skits on a day. Okay, but Mark Angel, because of the energy he normally put into his production then, because it is not like a 1 minute comedy that we have these days. Sometimes his own will elapse like 5 minutes or more, where it is going to be like a drama, it's going to be like a script. He was using Emanuela then, for most of those that know Mark Angel. So he was doing it on a weekly basis. So when you look at him, you would think that, oh, is it every week that you say, oh, this week content, yeah, let's start doing it. When next week also come, he will be doing it. No, in most cases, what he will drop for the next 8 weeks have already been what? He has already shot it. He has shot the script already. They are there waiting for the next 8 weeks. He has them. You will just be seeing them being dropped. And while he has done those 8, the one that he will drop for another 8 weeks is already working on it, so that he will not be caught up off guard. So there are things that you can plan. They are not urgent, but they may be of what? High priority. That is why I said that what is not far from what Esinoa actually what gave us as approach. And then we move to our third module, where we talk about creating and managing what? Schedules. Now, I've discussed this a lot, like what I said in our first class. I said we need to lay a very solid foundation so that we can actually have a good soft landing on other things that we need to discuss. Now, under creating and managing schedules, what we want to look at is that most people are actually poor in their scheduling. So they don't know how to create, and even when they have successfully created their schedules, how do you manage it? How do you put it under control, for you to know that, okay, fine, if I say that I will be here on this also day, exactly I should be there. If you say that a training will take 2 days, exactly it should take 2 days. We should not don't have a spillover, and then we would be begging that, okay, it was planned to be 2 days, can we now shift it to 3 days? How can we actually create the schedule? We have created it. Now the struggle is how do we now manage it? So we say that effective scheduling is crucial for achieving success in an industry. Okay, and it is very, very important that when you create the schedule, you should also manage the schedule. So what will scheduling actually do for you? It will increase your productivity. It will help you to reduce stress. It will reduce your stress. You won't be running scatter. Your mind will be at rest. You already know what to do at the right time. You know the time to do this. You know things that you will do for the month, and you know when each of them will be attended to. So you wouldn't have issue. You wouldn't have issues dealing with, your schedule. So let's look at the other importance. It will improve your work quality. That's one thing that it will do for you. When you have things being scheduled, one good thing that it will do for you is that it will help you to actually have good quality. If this training was not really planned, or it was not prepared for, okay, I'm telling you, we may not be having the quality delivery that we're having right now. When you have a presentation, you should become your presentation even before the day of presentation. In other words, what it means is that what you just have as the material is just a guide. It is just simply a guide. Everything that you need to say in each page of your presentation is already part of you. So your quality would actually what? Increase or improve drastically if you can you know, manage your schedule or create schedule and what and follow it up. So we want to look at some popular techniques that can be used for these particular categories of you creating and managing your schedule. We have what we call Gantt charts. Okay, it is a tool, and for a while it was available as a a, a, a paper tool, but later on it becomes a digital tool. So there are many time management softwares that have they have the inbuilt or they have the feature of Gantt charts. Okay, what is Gantt charts? Gantt charts only give you a bar representation of your task. It helps you to have a glance. You can have a pictorial glance at what you are doing. In fact, you may even have your Gantt chart can actually capture people that are attached to what each of the tasks, and when will you do this. Now, one other thing that Gantt chart will also help you to know is that what it will show those tasks that are dependent on each other. Let me pull up how it looks like. So this is a pictorial look of Gantt charts. You will see so many, okay, but this is a pictorial look. Now there are some of them that we even have arrow just to show you that what this depends on. But when you look at this, the task that this person actually wants to carry out is what he wants to do enhancement, designing, implementation, testing, fixing bugs, and what final what release of his products. And then on this, he has actually what schedule it. So when you look at this, the project will actually start 22nd of January, and this project will end 22nd of what of July. Now, as this man begins with enhancements, before there will be a time that what as it begins with enhancement in January, okay, but by February 22nd, it will start what designing alongside. So that project also will be going alongside with that. By March, it will start what implementing, okay, doing testing by April, and by June, he has started what fixing the bugs. Fixing the bugs means that whatever may be the error that he has actually made, perhaps is writing program, a code, some code, sort of code and everything. He will be able to actually fix the problem. After testing, he will know things that are not functioning properly, and then he will fix it. So that's an example of what Gantt chart actually does. So a Gantt chart is a visual representation of your project schedule, showing the task, the dependencies, and the timelines. So it will help you to actually have a glance. You can also have a calendar schedule. A lot of us do this a lot. It's a local method, and it's still working for so many people. I still recall then that back then in school, as a student in organizations, so if you want to make use of the school facilities, when you get to the dean's dean's student affairs office, so when you want to book a particular facility of the school, they will tell you there is a calendar that will be there. They will ask you to check the calendar. Now, what you are checking on calendar is for you to see vacant, dates, because those other people that want to use the facilities must have come. So you see them, they will circle. Those calendar are for that purpose. They will have ring out so many dates. And if you have a date clash with some people, the only thing that the dean will tell you is that if you can go and meet those people and they can walk up to him to say that they are ready to drop their program for you to have your program on that day, that's the only thing, because they have already picked that date. So it's always what advisable that what even a project that you will do maybe next semester, by this particular semester you have gone there, so for you to go and put it down. That is telling us about scheduling, having a good plan, an overview of when you will carry out what a task. So scheduling task and activities, you can use what your calendar. We also have Google Calendar. This particular training that we are having, you know, it's already on my Google Calendar, that my Google Calendar will be giving me updates that what I have a training to deliver. So the more the Google give me that particular alert, the more I look at my presentation, that, oh, am I really good to go or not? You can also do what we call priority scheduling. Okay, scheduling your task, that is, you can use your SNOA, okay, in this particular category to help you what schedule, have a proper schedule. You can use SNOA as a good tool for you to schedule. You can use your ABCD method for you to actually schedule. It can be a tool that you will use. You can use your MSCW to have a proper what schedule, so that you know that what, okay, when will I define my mission? Okay, for me to now know my mission, what are the sub tasks I will carry out, so that I can know when I will carry out those things. I will schedule them and then work on how I'm going to concentrate on my schedule, and then put it into what action. You can also do what we call time blocking. Okay, time blocking means that what you can get your task being broken down. Okay, something like this. I can break down a particular task into small blocks. Okay, for example, if I have a 1 hour presentation, I can break that presentation into small blocks. I can say this one will be for introduction of myself. Either I want to introduce myself, and I will say it will take me, I want to use 1 hour. So introduction. So you normally see it sometimes when you have meeting, maybe an organizational meeting, when they put out the agenda. A good agenda will not just have the things to be discussed in that meeting. It will have the time allocation to each of the things that you want to discuss, you know, on that particular day that you want to have meeting. So if the minute will be read, the minute of last meeting will be read, you should attach time to it, that what is going to take 10 minutes. The negative impact of not doing this is why you have some meeting that they will tell you that the meeting will take 2 hours and you end up using 5 hours, because there are no time allocation. One person that's supposed to contribute are supposed to spend 2 minutes, because you did not attach time to contribution, that anybody that wants to contribute must spend 2 minutes. You can see one person can stand up and start saying story and he has already used 30 minutes. And you guys have not, it is even when he landed after 30 minutes, you will discover that what he has made no contribution. He has just caused more problems. Because once he's seated, the hands that you will see up, people that want to react to what he has actually said, they will be like 20. And then you, being the chairman of that meeting, you will be in trouble. So, but you can avoid that if you use what we call time blocking. Time blocking is that what, no matter what you want to say, no matter how important it is, Oga, you have just 2 minutes. So let me go back to my example of having a presentation of 1 hour. I can say my introduction will take 5 minutes. Okay, that's my introduction of self. Okay, I can say my presentation, if I want to actually lay foundation for it, that's the foundation of the laying foundation for the presentation. Maybe I want to talk about its importance, why it's important. I want to really boost the interest of my audience so that they can actually pay attention to me. I can also use 5 minutes to do that. Okay, now the main thing about the presentation, I can use 30 minutes for the presentation itself. Okay, and then possible questions or possible gray areas that may come up in my presentation, that I know that what they may be where people may want to argue, I can use 10 minutes to clarify it. So I've actually spent 50 minutes, and then I will use 5 minutes perhaps to appreciate them for giving me that opportunity, and my conclusion will take 5 minutes. So I've allocated this, and then this is actually looking like yes, this is looking like a 60-minute presentation. So you can see what I've done. So with this, I will cage myself from talking too much. Once I'm done with my introduction, I will not overdo it, and then I move to the next thing. And that is the power of what? Powerful presentation. For many people that are into presentation, they know that we do this a whole lot. As I'm talking and training right now, at every time, like a regular time, like I've programmed myself, I've been glancing at the time for me to look at the time, timing myself, looking at what I'm saying, okay, and having at the back of my mind, more things that I need to actually train on, and how I can actually speed up and still make sense with the training delivery. So these are the things that you can actually use for your scheduling, okay? And then I've used a whole lot of examples, practical examples that you can actually use, but there are some that I've documented for you. So let's talk about managing distractions and minimizing procrastination. Like I said in the first class, procrastination is a virus. If you gather 10 people, I can assure you that you may have 9 people having problem with procrastination. It is not only you. You are not alone in this particular area. Distractions are there for everyone. But what you would observe is that is it that some people are able to actually block distractions? And there are some people that are reactive to distractions. They allow distraction to overcome. In fact, you see yourself sometimes you are you are positively driven that, oh, I'm not going to be distracted. And before you know it, in the next, maybe you manage just to use that strategy. As you are going through this training, oh, I will not be distracted again. I will not be distracted again. Maybe you manage with that momentum to manage it for like the next 3 days. And before you know it, you go back to your old habit rather. So that's what we are actually talking about. So you should know the impact of, the importance of managing distractions and minimizing procrastination. It is very, very important for you to actually know this. What distractions and procrastinations actually do for you, or what impact do they have on your success on every task that you want to carry out? They decrease your productivity. Your output will be lesser than your capacity. The level you had right now, you might have gone past that level if you have not been battling with procrastinations or distractions. A lot of people are not at the top of their career today because they have been distracted. A lot of people have not been able to build that particular business they want to build because they have been distracted with some other activities. And when they now eventually discover that those things are not productive, they want to come back to what they left, they will start doing it again. In fact, I used to have a friend who, as he's doing this, the project will not be completed. It will jump on another one. That's what we are talking about. As you are working to build this particular business, you just see another person that is doing a different business entirely. You say, oh, he's selling, he's making money. And the one that you want to build, that you already understand, you will leave that, abandon that, and then you jump into a business that you don't know anything about, just because you are enticed that somebody is doing that business and is making money. And then you go there, you fail woefully, waste resources, and then you find yourself blaming yourself, coming back to the business plan that you have left before. But right now you have wasted resources. You have to still do a lot of work before you gather resources for it. When you think that you have actually recovered, you get resources for that same business, you'll be doing it, you see another business, and then you jump at it again. A lot of people are living their life like this, and it is a very pitiable one. So distractions and procrastination will always decrease your productivity. They will stress you. They will increase your stress level. You will be stressed. You will have no direction. The quality of your life or the quality of your project will be very, very poor, because you always find yourself doing things at the last hour or the 11th hour. Something that you have ample time to have done. In fact, finish the work, rest, take some nap, enjoy yourself, and the job is there. In fact, you will even have enough time to go over it to check if it's actually fine or if it's rightly done. But because you have been pushing it, I will do it, I will do it, I will do it, you find yourself, pushing it to the 11th hour, and then you have to what? Rush. Now, let's look at some strategies that you can actually use. Don't forget, we are talking about distractions. Now, one of the topmost strategy that I have here is still time blocking. Time blocking. You want to read for the next 1 hour. That next 1 hour, why don't you switch your phone to airplane mode if you know that you are not expecting any important call? Is your private session. You don't even want to receive a call during that particular time. Anybody that wants to call you, you don't want them to be able to reach you at that particular time. It is not bad. And if you think that an emergency may actually arise, and you may want to attend to it, you can actually silence some of the groups like WhatsApp or anything whatsoever, and allow only call to come in. And discipline yourself. When you see a call, you may have an expectation of what the person actually wants to discuss. If it's not a pressing something, you focus on what you are doing at hand. So you can do time blocking. Okay, you have an uninterrupted blocks of time for your task. Put them in box. 5 minutes for this, 10 minutes for that. You already condition yourself, and this is really what you want to do. You can use your prioritization techniques, okay, for you to actually manage distractions, so you know what you are focusing on at a particular time. So you can see why I said that those foundations are actually good for us, because they are the one that we are going to be referring to. So imagine if you have mastered your Eisenhower matrix very well. So this particular aspect will not be difficult, because now you can manage distractions by prioritizing your task. You will remove those tasks that can actually distract you. Like the example that we use, somebody who needs to watch a live match. If you can take that discipline to put that live match in a particular quadrant that you know it belongs to, then you will know that until you are done with those tasks at the important and urgent matrix, until you are done with them, that is when you can move to another task. No matter how pressing or enticing it's looking at, if it's not in that quadrant, you know that you must not attend to it. But once you go off to attend to it, you yourself know that's the yardstick that will help you to measure your level of distraction. Break down large tasks. In project management training, we call it work breakdown structure. So you can do work breakdown structure, okay, by getting a particular task, put it at the edge here, okay. The task is that I want to cook. I just love to use simple illustration like this. So break it down. Now do your work breakdown structure, WBS. Okay, WBS, work breakdown structure. So you break the work down to you going to markets. That's what we talk about, breaking the task down. Okay, I will have to go to bank to get money that I will use to do shopping. Perhaps if you don't want to use your ATM, you need cash or anything, we're just putting that. You need to fill gas. You need to do dishes. You know all these things, and so much more. You will list out all the possible things that you will need to use as one step at a time to achieve this particular project. So when you begin to look at your task in their smallest units, it will help you to manage the time well, and you will avoid distraction. So you know that this particular task is not part of my enlisted task, and you will know that it is a distraction. You'll be able to spot distraction. It's just like if you are a farmer, you have planted. You are now going to your farm to weed it, to remove the weed that may not allow the plant to get enough nutrients. So that is how distractions are. If you are able to know what matters, you must know the kind of plants that are okay that you want on your soil in your farm. Those are the ones that you have planted. So identifying your task is for you to know what you want to plant, so that if any other things surface, you count them as weed, and then you can cut them off and block them. Avoid multitasking. This is another problem that many people have. They believe they act like a superman. They want to do so many things at the same time. They want to eat their cake and have it. You will just end up stressing yourself and achieving nothing. Okay? So you should know your ability, your capacity. If you are not the type that can actually what? Multitask. So you should know the limit of the task that you can undo, at the same time. You can't just carry 6 things in your hand that you said that what you are dealing with them. Take it easy on yourself. Take it one step at a time. If it's possible that you can actually have some tasks together, do them. For example, you can be seated in your toilet, using the toilet while you're actually reading newspaper. So I can sit on my toilet seat and carry newspaper. So as I'm passing out waste, I may be reading. A lot of people do that. Some people in the bathroom is where they actually brainstorm. They use their bathroom to as their quiet moment to get ideas. So when they are in the bathroom taking their, somebody like me, that time that I'm actually taking my baths, I will be reflecting on so many things that I have to do, that I have at hand. At that moment, a lot of ideas normally actually surface, come up for me. So you can have some tasks being combined, but avoid doing too much. That's what we are talking about. Use technology strategies. Okay, like I see somebody's feedback about it. There are so many tools that you can actually use. It's the word of AI. It's the smart word. Your Google is there. There are so many tools that you can use. Like the Gantt chart we talked about, we have so many tools. The only thing is that if we are to train on those tools, we have to separate them, okay? Because we have so many of them. We just pick anyone that, okay, we want to train on this, and then we just to show you how to use it. For example, so many phones, in years past have been coming with a clock alarm. And there are many people that this clock alarm is a saving grace for them. They can't wake up by themselves to go to work. Any day they forget to set their alarm, they will wake up late and get to work late. So some people use the alarm on their phone. That's part of technology. You don't have human being that can tap you and say, wake up, it's 5 a.m. But here is your gadget. So loud, especially if you are blessed with or some, I don't want to mention those products, but those phones that normally make the loudest noise. So if you have them, that even if you are in a city B in your dream world, when they ring, you must actually wake up. So these are you can use those technology. You can use technology that will give you reminders. There are especially the Muslims that do they are 5 hours prayer. Okay, I don't know if I'm correct with that. I've moved with some of them that is how they use the reminders on their phone to know that, oh, it's time for prayer, and then they will go to mosque. So 10 minutes to the time of prayer, they will already get a beep on their phone. Oh, there's time for prayer. They will set it that their phone should give them another reminder when it is 5 minutes. By that 5 minutes, they are getting up so that they will not be late for prayer. So you can use all this. Like I talked about Google Calendar. My Google Calendar normally pop up all my activities. Okay, it gives me reminder. It's not that I don't know them, but anytime it comes up, might be a time that, oh, I will check my presentation again and be sure that I've done the final touch. So use technology, and all this would actually help. And then I've used a lot of scenarios which I've documented some. So the next category we need to discuss is user time management tools and techniques, and I've actually discussed that already. We can't overemphasize the use of technology. And I've made mention of those examples. But one thing that I want to emphasize on here, that I know that you can use, anybody can use, even if you cannot afford some, other tools, is your to-do list. If you are actually undergoing this training, I want you to become addicted to this. Never step out of your house on a daily basis without you having, what do you do with this? Get a small jotter. Very, very small. It can even be a pocket fit jotter. Let it be part of you. What you need to write there is something tiny that only you can see, or that is, bold enough for you to see. Write your to-do list. Organize your day on daily basis with things that you need to achieve that day. You will see that there will be transformation in your life. It is something that you can do. And when you get habitual with this, you will see that a lot of things will change in your life. Never juggle around tasks on a daily basis. It does not fit you as a professional. Organize yourself like that. Every 1 hour or 2 hours, bring out this your to-do list, pocket fit jotter. Cross out those tasks that you have done. In fact, on this particular to-do list, you must have done your prioritization, because what is expected is for you to actually have those ones that that they are priority for that day. They will be the first one you will list up. On this your to-do list, you can also attach time frame to it on a daily basis, that by 4 p.m. I must have been done with this particular social meeting. You see people a whole lot. This is what people get personal assistance for. When you see so many PA, you see them, they will bring out the jotter, because the boss cannot do it. That's why he's hiring somebody to do it. But if you are not at that level, you need to do this for yourself. Be your own PA. So in most cases, when the boss is asking the PA question, you see them, what do I have for the day? They cannot even say it offhand. Some of them, they will have to bring out a particular small jotter. Say, oh sir, you have a meeting by 9 with so bank. You have a so. Your lunch will be by 2 p.m. Even your lunch, everything can be on your to-do list, so that you can actually take care of yourself, your health. You should know that by 2, I want to have my lunch. If you know that you have health issues, then you have to eat by 2. Let it be on your list. Okay? When somebody is trying to distract you, you say that by my list, by my activity schedule for the day, I need to actually be taking my lunch right now. So I'm sorry. Can we do this some other time? I need to attend to this right now. I need to do that. When people see that your life is organized, they will respect you for it. It might actually look different. It might look strange to them for a while. But when they see that you have become a better person, a lot of them will actually adjust to that new life that you have. So what is important in this module that I'm actually emphasizing on is your to-do list. The more you do it, the better you become. Never leave your house without you having your to-do list. Now, there is a technique that can also help you aside your to-do list. A lot of people have issues, with their attention span. Okay? They can't. You should identify yourself. You should know your strengths. What I'm doing right now with this lengthy of training, some people cannot talk this long. It does not make them a bad trainer, but they will not be a perfect fit for this kind of training that we are doing, where you may have to speak at 2 hours non-stop. And if you observe, there is no 1 minute that you have not been hearing my voice. That means I have not been taking water, and I'm still talking for 2 hours at a stretch. Some people cannot do it. That is their strength. There are people that when they talk for 5 minutes, they have to sip. Another 5 minutes, 15 minutes, they have to sip. Another 15 minutes, they have to sip. For me also, I have my limits. Somebody may even be able to go longer than I'm doing right now. So, Pomodoro technique, the word Pomodoro is an Italian word. And that Italian word means tomato. Okay? So, what is Pomodoro? Okay? It is a time management method that is simple, effective, and named after a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato. So there is a kitchen timer, okay, that they use in Italy, okay, and it looks like tomato. So the shape of it is like tomato, okay. The shape is like a tomato, is like tomato. That is why it is actually what named to named Pomodoro. That word Pomodoro there is just an Italian word for tomato. All of us know tomato, okay? Part of our vegetable that we use to what? To cook. So what is Pomodoro actually what preaching? How can you actually what? Use it? Pomodoro is actually what guiding you that what? You should choose a particular task. Select a task on your list. Set a timer for yourself to focus on carrying out that task. In fact, the basic time that we use in Pomodoro technique is 25 minutes. Use 25 minutes to focus on the task. Take 5 minutes break. So Pomodoro techniques is actually introducing, few, minutes break, regular breaks, interval in between your activities. This can re-energize you. It can help you to what? To focus and to be more productive. And I will give you examples. Many people don't know that why they are not performing well academically is because they have not noticed their own attention span. There are some students that cannot read for 30 minutes at a stretch. That student should identify himself and see that, oh, it is only 15 minutes at a stretch I can read. Read for 15 minutes. Get up. Stretch your legs. Stretch your hands. Move around. For the next 5 minutes, just ensure that what you are monitoring this time, or you get a timer for it. Just like what this timer, kitchen timer. It is a kitchen timer. What does that mean? In the kitchen, there are some cooking recipe that they normally time. If this thing must boil for the next 5 minutes, they will, once they cover the pot, they will just click on it, and then Pomodoro timer will actually ring after 5 minutes, and then you go there and add another ingredient. That's why we say that they use it in the kitchen. So we have a lot of timer like this. Most people that are science students, in their laboratory, they also use this timer, especially the physics students. So you can get a timer like that. This timer, set 5 minutes. You want to use it to stretch around, to move around, stretch your body. By the time you come back after 5 minutes, you will see that you are refreshed. It will be as if you are just starting. Take another 15 minutes read, or whatever may be the task that you are doing. Go again for another 5 minutes. Come back again the third time. Do that. After the third time, take a longer break. And then you come back. This is how you can actually strategize and get your task actually done on a daily basis. But if you say, oh, this task, I must do it, and then for the next 4 hours, you want to concentrate on, you are just deceiving yourself. You will see that for the first 30 minutes, you may give it good attention. In the next 5 minutes, you're already tired, but you are just stressing yourself. And that's why many students sleep off on books, because they don't know their time limits. If you use these techniques, you will not sleep off on your book, because you know your minutes. Read for 15 minutes, get up and stretch. Come back after 5 minutes, read, get up and stretch. How do you want to sleep off? But when you are paying attention, 15 minutes, you already know that you have reached your limit, and you kept on reading. You may end up sleeping off. So this is what Pomodoro approach actually this is what it does. So it actually helps you to introduce interval breaks, short breaks in between your activities. So you come back 25 minutes, take 5 minutes break, another 25 minutes, take 5 minute break. When you come back, take a longer break. Okay, maybe you eat or take snacks or anything, and then you come back to that particular activities. In our previous class, I've talked about delegation, and I cannot overemphasize that. That is what the module 6 is actually talking about. You need to learn how to delegate. It is important. I've said it over and over again, so it will just be like I'm repeating myself. But you must know that delegation will help you to increase productivity, okay? And delegation will help you to develop your team members. People under you need to develop. That particular boy, that particular staff that has been working under you for the next 2 years, can you really tell us what that person is proud of as an improvement in his career? If the person is not proud of anything, he's telling us something about you as a leader. Something is actually wrong with you too. You need to develop people. The great leaders are builders of people. When you build people, you build yourself. Okay? When you are a trainer who has trained so many other people, perhaps, even if you take up a particular trainer, you know that you will not be there. You know that you have a capable hand you can send there that will represent you. There are so many times I've recommended people. I'll say, oh, I'm so sorry, I may not be able to meet up with your time. But if you don't mind, I have somebody I can recommend for you. So the person I'm recommending, I must have confidence in that person that is going to deliver the job. And that's perhaps either I've trained the person before, I know what the ability of the person, or I've been partnering on that person before. So you need to actually train people in order for you to have effective delegation. And then it will also help you to have a good grasp on your time management. It will make you to actually divide yourself. It will be like you are doing 6 things at a time, whereas you are not the one carrying out the job. You just have people under you that are doing the job for you. Now let's talk about multiple tasks and multiple projects. The first thing I normally tell people is that if you can avoid managing multiple tasks at a time, if it's possible, do it. But in most cases, it is unavoidable, because there are some tasks that relate, they coexist. Take for instance, the example I normally use here is about construction. When the plumbers want to work on a particular building, new building, when you want to do the plumbing work, that may be when you will want to do the electrical installation. It saves time to have your electrician working on the installation with the plumber at the same time, because the wall where the pipes of the plumber will pass through may be where the conduit wiring will also go through. So both of them can agree that, oh, is your wire passing through this place and your pipe passing through this place? Let us break this place together after laying our the instrument there, so that we can actually use the cement to cover it together. What have you done? You are saving cost, and you are saving yourself from headache of damages. I've seen a lot of situations where the plumber will first do his work, and then later on you call the electrician. Electrician now discover that the place that the plumber has broken and has already cemented is the same place where you want to pass his wire through. What will he have to do? He will have to break that place again. Now you will lose resources because he's going to use another cement to cover that place. Now, another higher problem you can have is that while he's breaking the wall, he may actually tamper with the pipe that has been laid by the plumber, and that one has gone home feeling that he has finished his job. By the time you power off everything, you see that the water is not actually flowing, and the flow of the plumber to come and troubleshoot again. So this kind of work, this kind of project, the plumbing work and the electrical work on a particular building, look at them as a multiple task, 2 tasks at a time that must be managed together. Also in project management, we have what we call program management. Program is a list of projects that are interdependent, that if you manage them together, you may have some economical advantage. Like the example I've actually made mention. Plumbing work is a project on its own. Electrical installation is a project on its own. Both of them being managed together, it becomes a program management. That is because when you manage them together, it will help you to save time, and it will help you to save resources. Okay, so it is very important for us to know that being realistic, the only thing that you have to be realistic when you are managing project together. But when you manage project together, especially the example I've given, it will increase your productivity, improve your prioritization, and also enhance your time management. So one of the ways that you can actually manage time is for you to look at what are the tasks that can go together, group them. Okay, it's part of prioritization. What are the tasks that can go together? I want to use the toilet and I want to read newspaper. I can do these two at the same time. Okay, I want to go to bank and I have the plan to go to market today. Why don't I just what? Plan. As I'm leaving the house, let me carry the list of what I need in the market so that once I'm done in the bank, I can go to the market. It will be useless for me to what? Get to the bank, finish everything I want to do in bank, come back home before I now go out again to go to market. This is what wastes people's time. And of course, is lack of being organized, lack of prioritization, lack of plans, lack of having to-do lists. If you have to-do lists, you must have checked things that what in this particular area I'm going, what are other things I can achieve in that what environment. Can I achieve these things together so that I will not need to return to that what vicinity again? That's what we are talking about. So it is the tools you will use in this area is all the things that we have discussed. Make sure that what you have the list of your task. If there are some softwares that can make you to actually organize this, use them. But if you don't have, your Gantt chart can actually help. You can see the Gantt chart example I gave is multiple tasks going on together. Okay, so I know to what extent do I need to do this before I introduce the other one. Okay, so you can use Gantt charts as a tool for this. You can also use the prioritization matrices that we have actually discussed to do this. And welcome to the last module on reviewing and adjusting your time and task management strategy. Now, what do we want to do here? We want to look at it that as a project manager or as a task manager, you are not perfect. You need to know that. There are some times that you have made some schedule. You may need to be realistic that things are already going the way that you never planned. And that is why you have to be keeping track on the schedule that you have made and know when to make adjustments. If the person I want to have a meeting with by 2 p.m., if that person send me a message that is not going to meet up, it is time for me as a task manager for me to re-strategize so that the person will not destabilize the day for me. So now I've planned to actually achieve that meeting by 2 p.m. Then I can bring out my to-do list and check what are the things I can quickly move to that time so that that time will not be useless. And then is it possible that I have a reschedule for the person based on the importance of the meeting? Maybe you are the one that need help or you need the assistance of the person. You might be the one to adjust your time for the person. So that's what we are talking about. You need to keep tab on the schedule that you have made. You need to follow up. You need to have a regular review sessions on your projects. How well is this task doing? On a daily basis, when it is 12 p.m., you can check your task, like what I explained about to-do list. See the ones that you have done. See the next one that you actually want to do. It will help you to know if you're actually achieving. There is eating the frog. I've forgotten the writer of that book that was explaining that it is better that you do those tasks that are tiring, those tasks that you don't like, that you know that they disgust you, but it is compulsory that you need to do them. Prioritize them. Okay, do them first. Eat them like frog. See them like you want to eat the frog of the day. So because when you finish doing them, the rest of the tasks are the ones that actually interest you. But imagine that if you do things that interest you first, and those ones that you hate, you put them to be the last, you will end up not doing them. So you need to have a regular review. You can use your alarm clock or some other timer for you to actually keep tracking your time. Analyze the schedule well to know that the time allocation for each of the tasks is actually reasonable. You should not allocate 5 minutes to things that will take 15 minutes. It will not do you any good. And on this, I want to have my final conclusion. As I'm congratulating you for having completed this training with us, okay, I want you to actually please explore all these essential skills that I've shared with you and the strategies, don't stop here. When the recording of this class is being dropped, I want you to go back there to watch and rewatch. There are some things, a lot of things that you have grabbed in this live class, but I'm telling you, when you sit down in your quiet moments and you go over this again, trust me, there are so many things that you will still grab and be able to implement in your daily activities, so that you can actually achieve a better management of your time. Okay, try as much as possible to apply the skills. A skill learned without being practiced is useless. And trust me, you don't become a champion of time and task management just on a day. You become better on a daily basis. The more you practice, the more better you become. So I say to you, manage your time more efficiently, prioritize tasks effectively, minimize procrastination and distractions, delegate tasks and responsibility effectively, and always do your review and adjust wherever is actually necessary. Thank you so much for joining us on this course. My name is James Faneyi, and I will hand you over to the moderator. Thank you so much.
Okay, very big thank you to resource person, Mr. James Faneyi. That was a very succinct class and straight to the point. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you. We've learned so much. We've gained a whole lot from your wealth of knowledge and the course of this training. Okay, so quickly let us take questions so we can dismiss from this class at exactly 9. So please kindly signify by raising up your hand. Let me lower all hands first. So please signify by raising up your hand so we can take questions before we go to reactions and feedbacks. Okay, please say your questions. So those on our YouTube live channel, please, if you have your questions,